So as ISIS crumbles, some surviving members are returning to Europe and finding it hard to get a job. Now, I could see that. It's got to be a shock for an employer when she asks about that gap in your resume and you say, I was in Syria chopping off heads. Anyway, tell me about your 401k. So does it strike you as odd that they're allowed to return at all? Why aren't they dead? Did we ever worry about the career plans of Nazi war criminals after the war? So far, up to 150 are back in Sweden. And according to Newsweek, the paper Expressen talked to some of them. One guy, Walid, whines that he applied for a lot of jobs, but the online images he had posted of himself in ISIS tarnished his otherwise great reputation. I don't know, complaining about not being hired because you're in ISIS is like complaining you can't get a date because you're a pedophile. But Sweden thinks you can reintegrate, which puts everyone at risk. One fiend is looking for work right now after posing with corpses. How much do you bet they don't let his future co-workers know about that? Anything for tolerance. In England, roughly 400 have returned too. This is why Europe's screwed. You can return from a death cult, and they worry about job placement. And they're not even returning due to a change of heart, but because they lost. So employers are right to be scared. But mark my words, in months, there'll be stories about how bigoted it is to hold their ISIS past against them. Forgive and forget, even if they chop your head off. How can they call it? I know we got to go fast. How can they be allowed to call it home if they leave to join ISIS?
No, I think that you need to revoke it, right?
Yeah.
So this was a concern at the beginning of the wars that the passports allow you to go back and forth.
Yeah.
In this article, it said that 7,000 people have gone to fight for ISIS. This guy, the local terror expert, says that only he says the really dangerous ones have not come back yet. 800 have not returned home from Britain. And so, yes, I actually think they should be jailed and they should do something about the family's benefits.
Yeah. Jesse, one of the guys blamed the media for their bad reputation. Is that a me? I mean, talk about
he was like fake news.
You know, for all those liberals in America that I've interviewed on the street that says, oh, well, we should be more like Sweden, I want you to just listen to this sentence.
Yeah.
This is from the article. Sweden is one of the best countries for a foreign fighter to return if they want to reintegrate. It's trying out a rehab program that gives Swedish extremists housing, employment, education, and financial support. They give terrorists welfare in Sweden.
Yes.
Look at that.
One, isn't this unfair to the citizens living there that they don't know that the guy next door was in ISIS, was, you know, raping and pillaging?
Well, I can't believe that they even allow them back in the country. Just to reiterate a point, actually, Dana and I think Kimberly have said this previously, when the last British attack happened, you got to shut down their ability to come back.
Right. And
take away their rights. I don't think there's any question about it. But the thing that just strikes me is, you know, you want to make sure that you don't just execute them. We're not supposed to become terrorists ourselves, but I'm not sure.
That's not terrorists. That's common sense.
Well, but in other words,
that's called
you would have they had trials even for the Nazis.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
I'm just saying
This is such a weird battle now, Kimberly. That the planet is now the battlefield. Yep. So things have changed. Right. I think we need an ISIS island where we just drop them on an island, nothing else, and let them
Guantanamo?
It's called Gitmo.
Yeah. No, but you know what? That they wanted to close.
No rooms.
But this is the problem. Sweden wanted to bend over backward and all the multiculturalism and wanted to do all these things. The problem is, but now they have an enormous increase in the amount of rapes.
Yeah.
Okay, they're second in the world only to a part of southern Africa, Lesotho. And now you have all of these crimes being committed there, but they think like, no, don't punish the jihad or the ISIS. Let's give them a job fair.
Yeah.
And, you know, Swedish delight life. I mean, it makes no sense to me. How would you like it if you had no idea that the person you're working next to is like, what are your hobbies? Oh, hobbies. My hobbies are, you know, just getting a machete and decapitating someone. How about you? You know, let's be in our book group together. This is the problem. So people have no information, at least in this country. If someone is a sex offender, you have to register, you know, who you're around, what to expect to protect yourself. So it's a huge problem.
Yeah. Imagine working with someone you don't know anything about.
Well, we know you're